Ladies and gentlemen, when I was a child, my grandfather wasn't just a man who sat on the porch with a cup of coffee and a slow nod. He was a walking treasury of wisdom. His words didn't come often, but when they came, they stuck to your bones. He had lived through war, hunger, heartbreak, poverty, wealth, betrayal, forgiveness, and redemption. And out of the fire of all those trials came something more valuable than gold, life lessons, 80 of them. Yes, 80, and every single one, if applied with intention, can radically transform the trajectory of your life, not because they're magic, but because they're principles, and principles never lie. The first lesson my grandfather ever told me was this: if you don't build your own dream, you'll be hired to build someone else's. That one cut deep, because when you're young, you think you have forever. You think someone's going to come rescue you, but what he taught me that day was ownership. Your dream is your responsibility. Nobody owes you success. Nobody owes you the life you want. You've got to claim it, speak it, pursue it, and protect it. He said, people respect what you inspect. You can't expect your business, your relationships, your health, your finances to grow if you're not paying attention to them, monitoring them, measuring them. The people who win aren't always the most talented. They're just the most intentional. They watch the numbers, they track the habits, they do the little things the right way every day. My grandfather told me, don't confuse movement with progress. Some folks run in circles and brag about how tired they are. Being busy is not the same as being effective. You can climb the ladder of success and find it was leaning against the wrong wall. Make sure your actions are aligned with your purpose. Otherwise, you're just burning energy with no return. Then he said, you can't expect a harvest from seeds you didn't sow. Some people are mad at life, mad at God, mad at the world, but they never planted anything. No sacrifice, no discipline, no consistency. And they're shocked when nothing grows. But here's the truth. You reap what you sow, and not just what you sow, but where you sow, how you sow, and how long you water. You can't sow dishonor and expect loyalty. You can't sow laziness and expect wealth. Sow right and you'll reap right. He told me discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. I didn't get it at first. But as I grew, I saw it. Waking up early is hard. Reading when everyone else is watching TV is hard. Saying no to pleasure so you can build your future is hard. But missing out on your destiny, that's harder. Wishing you could go back and do it different, that's harder. So take the weight of discipline now, and you won't have to carry the burden of regret later. He said, money is a tool, not a trophy. And that changed my mindset forever. So many people chase money for validation. They think money makes them valuable, but money is not a measuring stick for your worth. It's a magnifier of who you already are. If you're generous, money lets you be more generous. If you're selfish, money makes you more selfish. Money is a tool to be mastered, not an idol to be worshipped. Another lesson, never let comfort become your coffin. My grandfather believed in work, but more than that, he believed in growth. He said the moment you stop stretching, you start dying, and the moment you choose comfort over calling, you shrink your destiny. There's nothing wrong with resting, but rest is for recovery, not retreat. Growth only happens in discomfort, stretching, struggling, striving, so don't be afraid of the fire, it's refining you. He told me, you teach people how to treat you, and I'll never forget it. If you accept disrespect, you're training them to deliver more. If you let people interrupt your goals, your peace, your focus, you're telling them it's okay. Boundaries are not walls, they're doors with locks. They say, you are welcome, but only if you honor the space. Love yourself enough to teach the world how to honor you. He said, don't make permanent decisions in temporary emotions. That one's for the ones who speak before thinking, quit before trying, or lash out before listening. Your feelings are real, but they're not always right. So when the fire of anger or fear burns hot, pause, think, reflect, because one rash decision can cost you 10 years. You can't build a legacy on mood swings. He reminded me, success leaves clues. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. If you want a great marriage, study great marriages. Don't wing it, don't guess, and definitely don't listen to broke, bitter, or busted people for advice. Find fruit, find evidence, and then follow that model. If someone has the results you want, humble yourself, learn, and apply. Then he looked me square in the eye and said, "Character is who you are when no one's watching. Integrity isn't about public applause. It's about private alignment. If you lie to others, it's bad. If you lie to yourself, it's worse. Live in such a way that you don't need to remember which version of yourself you told to who. Let your yes be yes. Let your no be no." Another one, don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from. Too many people are paralyzed by opinions that don't matter. My grandfather said, "Don't let someone who's never built anything tell you how to build." Feedback is valuable, but only if it comes from people who love you, believe in you, and live what they speak. He also said, "Be a thermostat, not a thermometer." Thermometers just reflect the temperature. Thermostats set it in your home, in your business, in your relationships. Don't just react to the environment. Influence it, shape it, lead it. People follow clarity. People follow consistency. Be the one who brings vision, peace, energy, and direction. Never trust a promise that contradicts a principle. That one hit hard. A shortcut that violates integrity is a setup for disaster. A deal that requires you to compromise your values is a trap, not an opportunity. If the path to success requires you to lie, cheat, steal, or betray, then it's not success. It's a ticking time bomb. Stick to the principle, and the promise will follow. He said, "Small hinges swing big doors." That means little decisions create massive results. Reading 10 pages a day might not feel like much, but in a year, that's 650 pages. Saving $5 a day might not seem like wealth, but over time it adds up. Choosing kindness, choosing patience, choosing excellence in small things. That builds a big life. He told me the loudest voice isn't always the right voice. In a world full of noise, learn to discern. Just because someone says it with passion doesn't mean they're right. Just because it's trending doesn't mean it's truth. Stillness brings clarity. Tune into the still, small voice within. That's where wisdom lives. Don't wait to be chosen. Choose yourself. That was one of the most freeing things he ever said. Too many people are waiting for validation, waiting for someone to pick them, but greatness isn't granted. It's claimed. Decide you're worth it. Decide you're enough. Then go prove it to yourself. The world will catch up. He told me, pain is a messenger. Don't ignore it. Interpret it. Every wound has a lesson. Every scar tells a story. Stop trying to numb your pain and start learning from it. What is it telling you? Where is it pointing? Pain can destroy you or develop you, depending on your response. Gratitude turns what you have into enough. That's a mindset shift. Stop waiting for more to be grateful. Grateful people are powerful people. Because when you live in gratitude, you attract abundance. You stop complaining, you start creating. You stop surviving, you start thriving. He said, the future belongs to the faithful, not the fastest. Not the flashiest, the faithful, the ones who show up every day, the ones who keep sowing, keep grinding, keep loving, even when it's hard. Overnight success is a myth. Real success is built in the dark before it's seen in the light. And finally, he said, legacy is not what you leave for people, it's what you leave in people. It's not the car, not the house, not the money, it's the values, the lessons, the faith, the character. The mindset, that's what lasts. That's what echoes through generations. Now I could go on. There are 80 of these. Some are simple, some are deep, but every one of them is real. Every one of them has the power to shift your thinking and shape your destiny. Because when you apply principle, you activate power. So the question isn't, do you have what it takes? The question is, will you take what you have and use it? Will you honor the lessons that someone before you paid a price to learn? Will you rise up, speak up, and build the life that reflects your potential? Because life is short, time is precious, and your purpose is non-negotiable. You were not born to survive, you were born to shine. And if you'll walk in these lessons, live with intention, and lead with love, your life will echo through eternity. My grandfather never raised his voice, but somehow his words still roared in my soul. There was something about the way he looked at life, not as something to escape, but something to embrace. He told me once, most people try to run from pressure, but pressure is proof that purpose is present. I didn't get it until I faced my own storm. See, pressure doesn't come to crush you. It comes to call you higher. Diamonds are made under pressure. Strength is built in struggle. So the next time life squeezes you, don't just ask, why me? Ask, what's in me that this pressure is trying to pull out? He looked at me one day and said, be careful what you tolerate. You're training your future. That line shifted the way I looked at compromise. Every time you allow what's beneath you, you build a future beneath your potential. Every time you excuse average, you erode excellence. What you tolerate today becomes your culture tomorrow. So if you want a better future, raise your standards today, not when it's convenient. Now, not when everyone agrees. Now, not when you feel ready. Now, because excellence doesn't come from comfort, it comes from commitment. Then came another, don't chase money, attract it by becoming valuable. I had to let that sink in. He wasn't saying money was evil. He had money, he just knew it was a follower, not a leader. He said money follows mastery, it follows service, it follows solutions. You don't get wealthy by wishing. You get wealthy by working with wisdom. When you become so good at solving problems that people can't ignore you, they'll pay to be around you. So stop asking how to get paid. Start asking how to create value. He said, don't let a bad day convince you that you have a bad life. That was for the moments I wanted to quit. For the times when everything went wrong, when the money was short, the pain was loud, the fear was real. He'd say, zoom out. Don't judge the journey by the detour. A bad moment is not a prophecy. A setback is not a sentence. Storms come and go, but if you hold steady, keep moving, and refuse to stop, you'll see the sun again. I remember this one like he said it yesterday. You can't conquer what you're not willing to confront. A lot of people run from their giants. They hope time will fix what truth refuses to ignore, but healing doesn't happen by hiding. Freedom doesn't come by pretending. Whether it's trauma, fear, addiction, insecurity, you've got to face it. Look it in the eye, name it, own it, then do the work to beat it. Don't dance with your dysfunction, defeat it. He said, every level of success requires a new version of you. At first, I didn't understand. I thought once you made it, you could relax, but what he was saying is that growth is constant. Each new door requires a new mindset, new habits, new discipline. What got you here won't get you there. You have to evolve. You have to shed the old skin. You have to let go of what was comfortable to embrace what's possible. He'd say, success isn't about luck, it's about laws. And I knew he wasn't talking about legal courts. He meant universal principles, laws like sowing and reaping, like honor, like stewardship. You don't need a miracle if you apply a principle, and you won't sustain a miracle if you violate the law. Gravity doesn't care about your feelings. And neither does wealth, peace, or legacy. They respond to principle. You don't have to chase blessings when you're aligned with law, because blessings start chasing you. One day he told me, you can't build a future if you're always looking in the rear view. That one hurt because I was stuck. Stuck in past failures, stuck in regret, stuck in what I should have done, could have said, or might have avoided. But he showed me that the past is a place of reference, not residence. You don't deny it, but you don't dwell in it either. Forgive, learn, release, and move forward. The windshield is bigger than the rear view for a reason. Where you're going is far more important than where you've been. Then he dropped this gem. Poverty starts in the mind long before it shows up in the wallet. He was talking about mentality. You can't think lack all day and live in abundance. You can't speak defeat and expect victory. Your internal beliefs become your external reality. You have to reprogram your mind, feed it truth, feed it vision. Feed it possibility. A wealthy mindset produces wealthy behavior, and wealthy behavior attracts wealthy results. He told me relationships will either multiply your purpose or divide your destiny. That means who you walk with matters. Some people are elevators. They lift you. Some are anchors. They hold you down. You need discernment, not just connection. Ask yourself, do they push you toward purpose? Do they challenge your laziness? Do they celebrate your growth? If not, love them, but from a distance, because who you surround yourself with shapes what you become. Then he said, don't let your gift take you where your character can't keep you. That's a heavy one. Because talent opens doors, charisma builds platforms, but only character keeps you there. It's easy to fake excellence for a season, but eventually the truth comes out, so build deep, build right, build slow if you have to. Fame without foundation is a fall waiting to happen. He said, don't envy anyone. You don't know what they had to endure to get what they have. And he was right. We live in a world of highlights. People show their wins but hide their wounds. But behind every victory is a valley. Behind every blessing is a battle. If you saw the full story, you might respect it more than you want it. So instead of coveting someone else's harvest, work your own field. Sow your own seed. Trust your own process. He looked at me once and said, you weren't created to fit in. You were born to stand out. That's for the people who shrink to keep others comfortable, who silence their brilliance to avoid attention. But your difference is your distinction, your uniqueness is your assignment. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs the real, unfiltered, unapologetic you. Stand up, stand tall, stand firm. He told me rest is holy. Burnout is not a badge of honor. That was a correction I needed. Because I thought hustle was the goal. Grind, push, never stop. But he reminded me, even God rested. Rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. It restores your mind, heals your body, clears your vision. So work hard, but rest well. Because purpose is a marathon, not a sprint. He said, if the devil can't destroy you, he'll distract you. That one went deep, because not every attack looks like a catastrophe. Sometimes it's just a wasted hour, a meaningless argument, a temporary pleasure, a wrong relationship. Distraction is subtle, but it's deadly. Protect your focus, guard your time, steward your attention, because what you focus on, you multiply. Then he said this, if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. Money, titles, clout, none of it is worth your soul. Don't sell your joy to buy someone else's approval. Don't trade your purpose for popularity. If it steals your peace, it's not aligned, and if it's not aligned, let it go. He looked at me one day and said, God gives seed to sowers, not hoarders. That meant if you want more, use what you have. Don't wait for abundance to become generous. Generosity is not about amount, it's about attitude. When you give, you activate flow. What you release multiplies. What you hoard stagnates. So be a river, not a reservoir. Let blessing flow through you, not just to you. He reminded me often, purpose is not found, it's revealed. You don't stumble onto it. You discover it through obedience, through service, through trial and testing. Your purpose isn't a random accident, it's a divine assignment, and when you walk in it, things align, doors open, peace flows, favor follows. He said, fear is a liar, but it's a loud one. Don't let its volume fool you. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move anyway. Fear screams, what if it fails? But faith whispers, what if it works? Don't wait to feel fearless, decide to be courageous. The action kills the fear. And finally, his last words to me before he passed. He looked me in the eye and said, don't just live long, live well. And that's the core of everything. Life isn't measured in years, it's measured in impact. In integrity, in how well you loved, how hard you pursued, how boldly you believed. So don't drift, don't coast, don't waste it. Live fully, live intentionally, live on purpose, and let the echo of your life be louder than your words. So now you've heard them, not all 80 by number, but all of them in spirit. The life lessons of a man who didn't speak to impress, but to impart. A man who didn't live for applause, but for impact. His wisdom wasn't polished in universities. It was carved in the fires of life, in trenches of pain, in mountaintops of triumph, and he passed it down not for me to admire, but for me to apply, and now I've passed it to you. Because wisdom is a gift, but it's only activated through obedience. These lessons are not just for listening. They are for living, for doing, for becoming. They are bricks. You can build a house out of them. A legacy, a life worth remembering, a life that echoes beyond time. And don't you dare think for a second that this was just a nice talk. This is a turning point. This is a moment. A divine interruption in your regularly scheduled programming. A reset, a wake-up call, a mirror and a map, because now you know, and once you know, you are responsible. You are responsible to think differently, to walk differently, to choose differently. You are responsible to rise. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Because your life, your purpose, your assignment, it can't wait. There are people connected to your obedience, generations waiting on your decision, legacies locked inside your discipline. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. You don't need to know the whole plan. You just need to take the next step. Every giant can fall, every wound can heal, every cycle can break, every dream can live if you decide. So what will you do with what you've heard? Will you scroll past it, or will you stand on it? Will you analyze it, or will you activate it? Because my grandfather didn't tell me those things to impress me. He told them to equip me, and I didn't share them with you to inspire you. I shared them to ignite you. You have what it takes. You've always had it. Now it's time to walk like it, talk like it, build like it, lead like it, live like it. This is your moment. Make it count. Make it echo. Make it last. Let the legacy begin with you. Thank you.